What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to bring you a quick little video that you guys requested, and it's all about catfish rods. Or more specifically, it's about the Rippin Super Cat series of catfish rods, my favorite rod of all the rods I've ever used on this channel. But we're not just going to talk about it. I'm not just going to show them to you. I'm going to do some deflection testing, and it starts right now. Let me mention that I actually did a sort of like a traditional review video of these rods more than 3 years ago here on this channel. So if you're looking for something like that, look back through the library. It's there. I talk about the action of the rod and how much I like that, how great it is for fish of all sizes. I talk about the guides. I talk about the fact that I love that it has a composite reel seat versus an aluminum one. So yeah, that's there if you want to check that out. But you know, I started getting requests specifically for the medium light version of the Rippin rods. I mean, they have the whole range from the medium light all the way to this heavy. And at first I didn't really know what to do with that because I've already done a review video. So that took me a while to kind of come up with what I wanted to do. And then also I've been distracted. I've been consumed with a project lately. I'll give you a hint. It's back here. That's coming soon. So here's how this is going to work. I've got some test weights that I'm going to use on the heavy action, the medium heavy, and the light action rod. I don't have a proper vise to hold these things to give you an accurate reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold all the rods in the same place. I'll hold them at the butt and I'll hold them at the line guide, okay? And they'll each have the test weight on there. I'm going to hold them up to my garage door on a seam. So this will be lined up on a seam and this will be lined up on the seam, and you'll be able to see how much the tip deflects. That way, if you're looking at this rod series and you want to get an idea what the different actions are like, maybe this will help you do that. Let's go. Okay, first up, testing with 2 ounces. It's the little guy in the bunch, the medium light. It's a 7'6" medium light action Rippin Super Cat series. It's got similar guides as to the other rods. I mean, they're a little lighter duty, but they're plenty for what this rod is intended for. It's got the same reel seat. It's a composite reel seat. It doesn't come loose. It's great foam in the grip, a nice sturdy hook keeper. It's a great rod. I love it for creek and ditch fishing, small river fishing. Anytime I anticipate that the majority of my fish are going to be 15 pounds and down, it's the one I want. Here we go. I've just got that sinker sitting on the hook. I'm going to hold this up to the seam here in the door, holding it at the butt of the rod and the hook keeper. And we want to focus on the rod tip, not the sinker. I can't see it, but I suspect you guys probably can. Push it against the door so I can slow it down. There you go. You can kind of get an average on that. That's 2 ounces on the Rippin medium light. Let's go to the medium heavy. Okay, 2 ounces on the Rippin 7'6" medium heavy Super Cat series. Similar guides on this one, just heavier duty. Same great reel seat, same great foam grip. You guys have seen me beating these rods up for a long time. I mean, I've got lots of different rods from all the big names. Fancy aluminum reel seats, varying different actions, but I use these more. There's a reason for that. Here we go. 2 ounces on the medium heavy, holding it at the butt of the rod and the hook keeper. Again, we're focused on the rod tip, not where the sinker's at, because the leader length is different. And look at that, it's not deflecting much at all. I can't see the measurement, but I'm guessing that you guys probably can. There you go. Let's go to the heavy action. Okay, so on this heavy action rod, I've got a bigger hook. This is the 9/0 Tackling Cats wide gap hook. The sinker won't actually fit down over the barb. You may have noticed it was the same deal on that one. That was the 7/0 Tackling Cats hook. Anyway, it won't affect the test results, but here we go. This is the heavy action 8-foot. Holding it at the butt and the line guide. Back it up a little. There's 2 ounces on the heavy action. Looks like it's barely moved. What we got? Maybe an inch? All right, let's get serious. Let's jump up to 8 ounces. And to be consistent, we'll go ahead and go all the way back down to the medium light. Now, never under any circumstance would I ever attempt to cast 8 ounces with this medium light rod. That's not the point here. The point here is just to show you a little bit of the difference in the action of these 3 rods, because it's almost the whole lineup from Rippin Lips. Here we go. If we had a 1/2 pound channel cat on there, which would be delicious eating, I might add, but if we had a 1/2 pound channel cat on there, that's the kind of bend that you're going to get out of the medium light Rippin Lips 7'6" Super Cat Series rod. That's 8 ounces. Going with the medium heavy. This medium heavy will fling these 8 ounce sinkers a country mile. In fact, I'm basically never casting less than 8 ounces out on the Mississippi River, and I'm typically using this medium heavy, so I mean, that's just how they spend their life, is casting 8 ounces or more. I've casted up to 16 with it. There you go, with the butt and the hook keeper, trying to hold it level on the seam. It's a decent amount of deflection there. Nothing too crazy. It doesn't look 100% overloaded. Let's go to the heavy action. I may have sort of already alluded to it, but 8 ounces is really nothing for this heavy action Super Cat rod, but we're gonna show it to you. Here we go. And there it is. Not much at all. We could chuck this thing from here to your granny's house and back, I can assure you. Up next, 16 ounces. If you choose to spend some of your afternoons deadlifting 1 pound channel cats on a creek bank like I do, this is the deflection that you will likely see on the medium light Rippin Lips Super Cat Series rod. Here we go. There it is, folks. That's a pretty solid load on that rod. Keep in mind though, this is a deadlift. It's a little different than fighting a fish. But that's it on this one. Let's go to the medium heavy. There's the medium heavy. It looks like fairly short work for me. No big deal. You could swing those small channel cats into the boat like they're not even there. And I've hauled in 70s and almost 80 pound blues on these rods. May have been this very rod for all I know. And now the thumper of the bunch. The heavy action 8-foot Rippin Lips Super Cat Series. 16 ounces. Absolutely no trouble. There you have it, folks. I know that I probably could have squeaked by on this video by just standing in front of the camera talking about the good and bad points of these Rippin Lips Super Cat Series rods. But you know, when you think about it, it should be obvious that I think they're really good rods, because I've got like 130 fishing videos here on this channel, and I'm using these rods more than probably all other brands combined. I've got a bunch of different brands over there, probably 5 or 6 of them, but I use these the most. They've got a great action. They've got an action for everything that I'm gonna do. The guides hold up well. I love the reel seat. I love the grip. They've never failed me, but probably most of all, it's the value. I mean, I can recommend them to anyone and know that everyone can afford them. Worst case scenario, you might pay 50 bucks for one of these rods. That's amazing. All that said, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you'll watch another one. Maybe you'll subscribe. See you in the next one.
This production was brought to you by Battery Outfitters, powering everything from lawn tractors and sports cars to RVs and forklifts. With locations all over the Mid-South, they are your neighborhood battery store.